welcome back to another cut above with Chris. Face shave again. I am going on sort of 2 days growth at the moment. For some reason my hair is growing like wildfire just now. I've got literally 2 days growth at the moment. It's just flew through. It was pretty much BBS after my last shave on Monday, so I don't really know what's going on. I must be eating something a bit different. Now, as you've probably seen from the photograph or the image at the start of the video, Arctic Hydra by Dr. John's. Now, I use this, I love this scent. It lathers great, and the only downside was the performance, and it was quite a big downside. There was no residual slickness, really none at all, and the slickness with the soap itself on your face wasn't great. So let's see if my favourite knot in the den can change all that. I've got bloody things all over my fingertip. This is what happens when I do some manual labour. I've got feminine hands, you know, they're a bit soft. So I've got 25mm black wool fan. My favourite knot in the den, without doubt. There's nothing better than this in my den, and it's in the Purple Haze wolf whiskers. Beautiful brush. Right, so let's dip it in the water, flick out the excess, and I'm just going to load the exact same. I don't load any different for any soap. If it can't load direct from a dry puck, it's not good enough in my opinion. The good thing I like about synthetics is you can just smash them in there, crush them all over the place. You don't have to be particularly gentle with them. Now, someone had said that these are quite firm soaps. I find this it is firmer than a crope, but still soft enough that I can imprint my finger on it quite easily. It's not like even sterling. I find sterling harder than this. But let's see how it goes anyway. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't done any dedication shaves lately because I feel I have to be in the right frame of mind to do them. I don't want to dedicate a video to someone and then not be in the right frame of mind for it. And I find it easier to do a dedication video to someone's channel, or someone in particular, if I'm not reviewing products as well, or trying new things. Right, there's the brush loaded. Let's wipe the face. And here we go. Now the scent on this, it's a lovely citrus scent. It's not a strong citrus, it's on my face right now around about a 4 out of 10 scent strength. Right, so that's all the lather, not the lather, but that's the load painted on. So what I do now is dip the tips. As you can see, the brush is caked in lather. And all I do is just paint some water all over it until I feel the brush is ready to splay, which is now. I can feel now that the tips on the brush have loosened up enough. And there you go. Last time I used this soap on on Monday. I used the Carnivus and Richardson Katie's Bubbles collaboration brush, which is a 24mm golden nib 2-band. Now wait till you see the difference in the lather now that I'm using a synthetic. This isn't a dig at natural hair brushes, but I just can use I can use a synthetic better, as can probably anyone in the world. Natural hair brushes, I've definitely got a knack to them. Every brush is individual, every knot is individual, and you have to dial in each lather with that brush depending on what knot you've got in it. Synthetics work completely different. I've got 3 black wool knots. I've got this fan, I've got the ultra fan, I've got the bulb, and I can get pretty much this lather from any of them. In fact, I can't get this lather from any of them. That is a far superior lather to the one I got from the natural hairbrush. Far superior. It's a beautiful shine on it. It's thick. The brush is well loaded. The soap tastes excellent as well, which is for me it's actually a good sign of how good the soap is if it tastes nice. Right, I'm just going to stick with this again because it was great. It's nice and mild. I'm not getting any irritation from it at all. The RazoRock MJ90. I just found out recently, yesterday I think it was, or the day before, that it comes now with an extra base plate. So you've got this one, which is the mild original, and then you've got one that's a little bit more aggressive for the same price, $39.99. You can't go wrong for a titanium handle, the 2 base plates, an adjustable razor similar to the what do you call it? The Rockwell, where you change the base plate. So just cold water today again. Now the slickness. Slickness already feels better than it did last time just from the soap. So we'll see what the residual slickness is like. I've still got the Persona Med Prep blade in here from Monday's shave, but I will say one side of it feels a little bit rougher. It's still smooth. But I can feel the difference. I can feel one side is not as smooth. I've just been messaging Kira McCrum on Messenger on Facebook. He was just asking about the NJ90 and the Baby Smooth and what I would recommend. I haven't used the Baby Smooth, but by all accounts from what I hear, they're great. And going on my knowledge of RazoRock razors, I've used the Hawk single edge, which I didn't go on with. I've used the Wunderbar, which I love, and I've used now this DE, the NJ90, which is also an excellent shaver. Very mild, but given that new base plate that comes with it. Right now, slickness. If I had to give residual slickness out of 10, I would probably give this, even though this is much better, I'd still only give it around about a 7 for residual slickness. It's just not there. It's not there, and it's not the lather. That lather, as you can probably see the gloss on that. The lather's excellent. Now I've got very hard water here. It's got a very high TDS reading. Total dissolvable solids reading. I only know that because I test my water everywhere I go for my pure water window cleaning. So it is terrible water. And before everyone says, well, try it with some distilled water, I'm not interested. I don't. If a soap can't coat with my water, it's not good enough. I've got far too many soaps that I've got in the den or that I've used over the last 15 months, 14 months. That perform exceptionally with my water, so this, in my opinion, no excuse. If you can make a soap that works amazing in hard water, it should technically work better, even better in soft water. I mean, that lather's outstanding. You can probably see the gloss on it. Maybe not. I can see it. It's a glossy, thick, creamy. It's exactly where I want a lather to be, so the fact that it's not super slick is quite disappointing. I mean, this is a very, very mild razor. I do find that you do a lot of buffing with it, you got to really over the same bits all the time. But the thing with it is, I don't get any rotation from it. I mean, I had a little bit last shave, but that was against the grain. It gives off a very, very strange audible feedback. From the aluminium head, and it is the aluminium noise. Even there, the slickness is pretty awful. I've heard excellent things about this soap. I've even had people messaging me on my last video. I've used this 2 videos in a row, so if you're watching this one and you want to see my first impressions of it, pop back to the last video, or the last face shave anyway. Yeah, you know what I mean, I'd never use it on my head. The slickness is just, it's not there. Granted, it's better this time round, I have to say. But the fact that I wouldn't do a head shave with it gives you a real big indication of how much I trust it, and I don't trust it at all. I think it's pretty average. I love the scent, I love the lather. The lather's great. The ease of load and lather is exceptional. In terms of actual look, feel, you wouldn't be far off a sort of 9 or a 10 for what it looks like and what it feels like, but the actual performance of it's just not there. I have messaged John, the owner, or the artisan. As yet I haven't heard anything back. It might just be a soap that doesn't work in hard water. It's not everything that's there. It's just the performance of it's not, and it's a bit, it's annoying if I'm honest. It's kind of like, it'd be like having a Mercedes Benz with bald tyres and wet roads. It just wouldn't have the performance. It's a bit like having the good stuff but it just not performing. A BMW with a Ford Mondeo engine in it. I mean, don't get me wrong, could I shave with it every day? Yeah, I could, easily. There's enough there with the lather to give you a nice shave. But that's juddering already. going to give my face a bit of a rest today from against the grain, but I am going to do just a little bit. Just on the cheeks. Seems to be the place that I get least irritation and that I get least resistance. I've also been asked as well if I could do a head shave on a full week's growth. So as of now, I won't be shaving my head until next Monday, I think it was. Tuesday. Shaved my head yesterday. So. That side of the blade is the rougher side that I'm feeling just now. It's not as comfortable against the grain. It's similar to Kyle over at Brown Man Shaves. This is all about, for me, just doing a little bit at a time every time. I know I've got a lot of people baying for blood, baying for shaves every day, but I can't go against the grain every day. I've found now that if I'm actually resting my skin for a day or two, for a couple of days or more, I can do more with it. And that I mean, I've got to give it credit as well. The actual post-shave, the post-shave feel right now, even though I've just washed it off, is velvety smooth, very soft, and it does feel moisturised. I don't feel like my skin's been dried out by the soap at all, which is great. The only thing this soap is lacking is performance of the shave and for the residual slickness, which is pretty much non-existent. But once again, I've had a great shave there. I can't argue with it really. Would I recommend you buy it? I don't think I could really recommend it. Is it worth having in the den? Probably, if you've got a lot of other soaps. I wouldn't recommend it to someone that was buying a single soap and wanted to use it every day. I can't personally recommend it for that. But for scent, ease of load, ease of latherability, and the actual post-shave feel of it is great. Just the actual performance is pretty average. It just doesn't cut the mustard in my opinion. But I've had a great shave. I've got no irritation. I've managed to go against the grain again on my cheeks and on my lips and round here with no irritation. I can't really argue with that. It's just not as good as other soaps out there. Right, I'm going with Shea Moisture Shave. I'm using one hand because I've got all these things on my bloody finger, so this is quite hard. Doing things like this, just using one hand, if you tie one behind your back, it really makes you appreciate having both your hands. You don't. I mean, there's going to be people out there. I don't know whether they watch this channel, but there'll be people out there that have only got one arm or one hand. I think the big one for me, the one that made an impression on me, was when someone said about Nick shaves. When his actual description of having the shave and loading the brush and making the lather gave a blind guy the opportunity to actually shave well, and I think that's incredible that you can make those sort of differences. And I've had it in my own channel. I've recently had one. I did pop it on Facebook actually. I was quite chuffed actually. For someone actually followed my channel for a bit, went out and bought the stuff, and through watching my channel and my form of technique, which is very similar to everyone else, the technique doesn't really change much from person to person. It's just things you sort of learn as you go along. But he now appears to be a convert, which is great. Not for. Well, that's a bit embarrassing. I've just been talking for the last 5 minutes and realised that the video stops. I've just went back and had a look where it actually stopped. Ran out of storage on my phone again. What can I say? Typical. I can't help myself. I finished the shave off with Shea Moisture Shave, which is a sort of post-shave bump preventer and rash preventer and ingrown hair preventer, and then went on with Lucky Tiger. And you guys know what I used. It was the Arctic Hydra from Dr. John's. Used it in my last shave. It's good, it's just not great. There's a little bit of menthol in there, which is nice. It's got a lovely cooling sensation. I mean, now that I've used all these post-shave products and everything, my skin feels great. It really does. I've got no irritation that I can feel or see anyway. It just feels beautiful, and I really, really enjoyed that shave. The brush makes a massive difference in my opinion. I don't think, you know, I've got nice natural hair brushes in here. I've got another one on the way. It's nice to have them actually, I have to say. I do enjoy having them. They are harder to use. You need more skill, really. You know, anyone can pick one of these up and create an amazing lather. I've got no doubt about it. I could give this brush to anyone and they could make a brilliant lather. Obviously not with a shit soap, but with a good soap they'll make an amazing lather. If I give anyone a natural hair brush, it doesn't work like that. You know, they might get a great lather, they might not. It's a hit or a miss, and it's about dialing your brushes in. Like I say, this, you can't go wrong with these. You can't. It's the soap's fault if you screw it up. It's not the brush's fault if you screw it up with these, in my opinion. You just can't screw lathers up with them. But that is me done and dusted. Thank you very much for tuning in again. I have got my Transit Guard physical on Friday, so I managed to play a little bit of soccer last night after damaging my ankle last Friday. It was sore, but hopefully it's a 7.0 in a beat test for me. It should be a breeze. But when you've got a dodgy ankle, I don't know how it's going to go, so I'll probably play football again tonight and Thursday, just for a light jog and a light run, and just see how it feels, and then go from there on Friday and hopefully get through the physical quite comfortably. But other than that, thanks very much for tuning in. Stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.